Good to see you all. So let's take a few deep breaths. In the nose, out the mouth. Let's do that a couple more times, breathing in the nose, out the mouth. Good. Each time you exhale and you allow that breath to go out the mouth, I want you to feel your feet. You might pick up the toes, wiggle them around a little bit. You might do a pursed lip breath, breathing in the nose, pursing the lips, blowing it out the mouth. Letting the knees soften. And we've been talking a lot about, noticing what our pelvis is doing as we're standing here. So just checking out if you're feeling, oh, is my pelvis tilting anteriorly? You'll know that because you'll feel it over arc in your lumbar back and your ribs will come forward. Some of us curl the tailbone under a little bit more. You'll feel the sit bones in the back kind of coming together and a little bit coming together and a little bit more squeezing through the lower glutes. And sometimes with this position, we tend to shoot the pelvis forward a little bit. And so we start to have a little curve. And so I just want you to notice as you're just standing here, if you think of the front of your hip bones, here, the anterior iliac spine. So we call these the ASIS for short. So it's a long word to talk about. But you can think of this is leading what the pelvis is doing. So when you allow the anterior superior iliac spine to tilt forward, that's an anterior tilt. So you can just try that to see what it feels like. And then come back to neutral. Yeah. Feel what happens in your feet when you do both of these. Because when you tilt anteriorly, I feel a little bit more weight go into, what were you going to say, Leslie, your toes? Yeah, you kind of feel like, oh, okay, right? The energy pulls you forward. And then going into neutral, you keep the knees bent and then tilt back posteriorly and notice, what's happening there? Okay. You feel the toes become a little bit lighter, the weight goes back. I do feel like I want to push my pelvis forward when I go into this position. So just see, can you find neutral? And usually there's about 60% of the weight on your heels and 40% on the toes. And then we want to look at, is one foot or both feet kind of angling out a little bit? So you want to feel, do I have the feet wide enough? And bringing somewhat parallel. Good. There we go. Okay, and rooting down through one foot, thinking of the pubic bone as we exhale, the lower belly is drawing back, the pubic bone is lifting up as we press that foot into the floor. And so when this other heel is lifting, you keep pressing the floor away. So you really want to find big toe, inner heel, outer heel, pinky toe. So this is the medial and the lateral arch, and then the transverse arch, you're pressing down. So we're not shifting the pelvis off alignment. We're just feeling, if I push down and I pull up, that leg should float up. And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes we think, look at what I'm doing. I'm leaning over to the side to lift that leg up. So try not to do that. When we lean over to the side, it shows that we're using that lateral arch and we need to drop into the big toe and the inner heel. So you need to bend the knee and root that in a little bit stronger. Good. And some of you can let the arms come out and we can bounce a little bit. Find a focal point. There we go. Just gotta find my alignment here. And then that foot that was lifting is now coming down and finding a little bit of foot rolling. There we go. Good, Donna. That was kind of good, a good one to challenge yourself. I am going to just crack this window open a tiny bit. Oops, I'm almost tripping myself on my pants. Okay, I'm going to pull these up a little. Okay, and as we roll, we're finding the entire sole of the foot. And then you're identifying, what do I need to pay a little bit more attention to? So do I want the outer edge of the foot, the inside of the medial arch? We've been talking a lot about the transverse arch, which goes just below the metatarsals and it creates a bridge across the front of the foot. So some of us have a ball, some of us have a dowel. There you go. Now, when we're foot rolling, sometimes we're looking down. So once you've got that alignment in the foot, see if you can look straight ahead. Just so we're not pulling the spine and the body forward. And we might single out on a spot with the dowel. It's kind of fun because you can roll a little bit more on the outside of the foot. You might feel, oh, there's a little lateral release. Hey, Carolyn, I'm going to bring something to your right hand. Notice your right hand. Do you feel that? Yeah. Yeah. So when we foot roll, because so much of our focus goes down into our feet, sometimes I always talk about the hands, what is doing, and sometimes you'll notice the hands start going into a lot of tension. We hold a lot of tension in our hands, so you can just let them go from time to time. You can roll the medial side. You can also just press down and hold a little bit of weight in one area. It's a compression technique. When we compress, it helps us notice the perimeter of our body and space, which helps to increase proprioception. Everything we're doing right now is increasing proprioception. And then you can do a little twisting. Hold a pin and a spin. Feel your whole body spins, not just in the hip, but allow it to reverberate. And whenever you're done one side, no rush, I want you just to stand on both of your feet again. We're going to do the awareness of feeling what's different between each foot. And then because we're working on the muscles and the fascia, you're going to feel a difference through each leg. So just allow each leg just to go into a little bit of a flexion extension. So bending the knee, straightening the leg. Okay, we're going to feel it up the whole body. So I want you to root the feet. I can notice quite a difference. Right? Can you guys, from right to left? And so the side that you rolled on, I want you to lift that arm up. So as you inhale, and sometimes when we come up, we feel, oh, my shoulder is not really liking this. So you can touch the hand to the shoulder. If not, the palm can face towards the skull. And then you're going to exhale and you're going to bring it over. Good. So we're all going to be going in a few different directions because it depends on what we felt. And I want you to notice, what does it feel to slide? And so you can do that a couple times. Inhale and just come over and you're going to feel a sliding and gliding of the fascia. Keep rooting down the feet. One more time. And then just for fun, as you bring that arm down, bring up the other arm that you haven't rolled and just notice what that feels like just in general right now. Okay, press through the feet and then just go over. We're not going to do too many times but I just want you to feel the difference. And yeah, it's like, whew, right? Not so that's what it feels like when the fascia is a little bit more dehydrated, right? And so I always love to do that one because you can go, oh, and then we're going to try that same side after we foot roll and you're going to notice the difference. Okay, so take a moment, feel the standing foot, the one that you rolled. Just let your heel of the other foot become light. And so you're pressing the floor away. You're exhaling. So you can think of lifting the pubic bone or drawing the lower belly in, gathering the ribs. Some of you like that SH breath. Keep pressing inner heel, big toe, outer heel, and you'll start to feel the leg become light. It takes a bit because sometimes we have to wait and have patience, and that's not always fun for a lot of us. I know I can be impatient. I'm like, I want things to happen. I'm like, pause, you shall breathe. Yeah, and then when you're ready, you're going to start to foot roll. It's really fun though when you get this awareness. I'm just going to move over so I can see Tracy because we've got, I know, at times we've got a little, so as you're finding this awareness in the feet and you're rolling from heel to toe just to get through the entire sole of the foot. So sometimes we don't go the whole length of the foot. So just feel, can I get through the whole length of the foot to start? And then start to explore different areas where you might pause. Sometimes you just hold some compression in the fascia, or you can press in. That might be an exhalation and then ease off as you inhale. Yeah, good. You might do that pin and spin. Just finding a grounding technique just to allow us to find earth support. Notice any uprising of our sympathetic nervous system releasing through that exhaled breath, whether you purse the lips or you let it out with a sigh or a soft, oh, and just letting any tension kind of comes up sometimes in the upper body. Sometimes we hold the abdomen a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. Good. Just giving some space to finish off. And then some of us like to even stand on the dowel, and that's finding your transverse arch. So you can even find that and just let the toes drop over. If you have a ball, you're just letting the toes wrap over the ball. So I know some of you here like to go into a forward fold from this place. So option is to stay on the dowel or to come off of it. And we'll go into a forward fold and we're going to lead the pelvis. So I'm just turning sideways to offer this. And so you're going to inhale, and as you exhale, we're going to allow the weight to start to shift back to the heels. And then you're going to feel your sit bones start to reach back. And the front of the pelvis is going to tilt forward. We're going to bend the knees, and you're trying to find a flat back. So once you come into a flat back, which is head, heart, hips, all in one line, you're going to feel the energy come into the toes as well. Good. And then just release one arm, let it circle. If you feel that you can maintain this flat back, you need to exhale, gather the front ribs together, maybe an SH breath, and that will keep you in a flat back. Sometimes we want to go into an anterior tilt here, so we want to be in that flat back. You can do one arm at a time or both, circling, swinging. Once one arm finishes, you can go to the other. Some of you will just pause here, depending on what your nervous system and blood pressure is wanting today. If you want to go a little bit farther, you just bend the knees a little bit more. Start to think of your sit bones lifting up towards the sky. It'll bring the pelvis a little bit more upward, tilting forward. And then you're going to roll down through the lumbar. So that's your lower back, the middle back, the upper back, the neck, and let the head go. Do a little nodding of yes, no. Breathe. Arms can dangle here. Some of you can even touch the floor. And if you touch the floor, I want you to take the thumb, the index, the middle, the ring, the pinky, and press it into the floor. And just see how that affects your upper torso. Some of you will grab and bend your elbows and take your right hand, hold your left elbow, and your left hand holding your right elbow arm. Okay, we're going to lead with the pelvis up. So you're going to bend the knees, and now you're just going to think of sit bones going down, anterior part of the pelvis lifting up, the torso will follow. Good, the arms will start to reach up. And exhale back. Good, shake it out. We're going to go into that lateral stretch on the side that we didn't do. So that was, for me, my left side. And so it's going to be different for each of us, but you're going to find the feet hip width apart, rooting down, and then reaching that arm up, the second arm. Palm is facing towards the side of your skull. Okay, relax the shoulder, and then just go over. Remember, you can touch the hand to the shoulder if you feel that that's more comfortable. Inhale up, do it a couple times, press the floor away, lift the pubic bone. There you go. You guys feel a little bit different? Yeah, it's amazing, right? So it's giving you a really good awareness of, oh, my fascial body. If we don't know a lot about fascia, you can feel, oh, my fascia, when I release the fascia on the soles of the feet, it affects the entire body. So we're going to do a few shoulder rolls to prepare us and a little bit of work in chair. So we're going to just bend the knees a little bit, press the feet into the floor. Inhale, draw the shoulders up to the ears, roll it back. Exhale, bend the knees. Good. Inhale, push the floor away, draw the shoulders up, roll them back. Maybe exhale out the mouth, maybe a little sigh. Inhale, press, squeeze, roll back. Good. Doing a couple more. We're going to go this time in this direction, going backwards, and then we're going to go forward. We're going to inhale up, forward, exhale down. Beautiful. Couple more. Inhale up, forward, exhale down. Yeah. One more, and then we're going to do the one where we do a little compression and we hold. So as we inhale, press through the feet, let the shoulders draw up, hold the breath for a moment, and then you're just going to exhale, drop the shoulders. Good. Try that again. Press the feet down, inhale, draw the shoulders up, hold, let go. Good. One more time at your rhythm. You let go at your time. Good. We're going to do that pursed lip breath. Inhale, press the feet, draw it up, pursing the lips, slowly lowering the shoulders as slow as you can as you blow the breath out your pursed lip. Try that again. Pursing the lips, blowing the breath out, slowly lowering the shoulders. Feeling any tension you're holding there drop away. And then see, do I want to go one more time? My body's saying yes, so I'm going to do it one more. Okay, the minute we use this pursed lip breath and we extend the exhale, it helps to regulate our nervous system. Okay, more into feeling balanced and calmer. Okay, it's one of the quickest ways that we can just bring ourselves back to kind of home base or well-being. Okay, we're going to do a little bridge, not bridge, chair flow. And some of you have a slow-mo ball that you're going to use, inflated. Some of you are going to use the 4-inch lock in between the thighs. I'll use that one just for visual. Okay, I'm going to be sideways, but you can be facing me. I'm just going to do a visual side. Okay, feet are the distance apart that allows you to squeeze the block. So some of us like to have the block in the middle of the thighs or the ball. Some of us like to go a little bit closer to the knees. Some of us like to go closer to the pelvic floor. So you decide. I just want you to take a moment to feel and play with different placements and notice, how does it feel for you? Oh, that feels better. I was just turning the block and I was like, oh, my body's like, turn the block. And I was like, oh yeah, that feels better. I usually use the slow-mo ball, which a lot of you know, but I'm trying something a little bit different today. Okay, so as we sit back, we're gonna think of the pelvis leading us back. So you're gonna inhale. As you exhale, you're gonna start to bend your knees. You're gonna squeeze the block and you're gonna imagine that you're pulling the block a little bit back. So when you do that, you'll feel your thighs internally rotate a little bit and you're gonna sit back with your hips. Yeah, so you still want a flat back. Good, try not to lose your toes. So Elsby, you can take your right heel and bring it out a little bit. So that was your left, right? Sorry. No, that's okay. There we go. I was like making sure. I was like, wait a second. I think that was your left. Yeah. Okay, great. Bring your arm up, both of them. Relax the shoulders. Imagine that you're holding a ball here and then sit the hips down a little bit more. Good. Breathe here. Notice all of your toes. Root down through the inner heel. That's your medial arch side of your inner heel, your outer heel. Engaging our hip stabilizers. And then we're going to allow the arms to release down. Exhale, press through the feet. Inhale, reach the arms up and open your chest out a little bit. And then bring the hands together. Exhale, back to standing. Okay, so we're going to do that a couple times. Inhale, exhale, bend the knees. Feel the arms come down and then keep yourself in chair as you bring the arms up. Relax your shoulders, widen your shoulder blades. There you go. Good. Feel inner heel, outer heel, back of the heel, all of your toes. There it is. Hey, release the arms down. Inhale, stand up. Open the chest, the heart upwards. Exhale, bringing your hands back to heart center. Here, we're going to do that again. Inhale, exhale, sit back and down. Stay in your chair, bring the arms up. Good. Feel that you're kind of pulling the block back a little bit. And then also see, can I pull the block up to my belly button? What does that do? Can you feel your lower belly kind of draw in? Yeah, good. Arms come down. Inhale up. Open the chest. Good. Bring hands back to heart center. Let's do one more. Inhale. I know Candace, she's looking. I was like, I have to talk while I do it. I know, I could see your face when I said one more. She's like, I don't want to do one more. Okay, inhale, exhale, sit down, arms come down. Beautiful. Bring the arms up. Draw the block back, squeeze the thighs, lift the block up towards the abdomen. Feel the lower belly draw in, soften the shoulders. Breathe. One more breath here. Feel all the toes, inner heel, outer heel, back of the heel. Good. Push the floor away. Inhale, stand up this time. Open the chest. Good. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. You got it. Take away the block. Shake it out. Yeah, I know, right? I did open that, but I was feeling I was hot too. That's why I wore a short sleeve. Okay, so do a few swinging twists just to release that. Okay, we're going to go into a little flow today that we haven't done. And this is going to be, it's still wanting to come in, even though it might be a little challenging to find enough space for everyone to balance if you need a wall. But we're going to try it anyway. And then we're going to go into the last flow and pose, which we did a couple weeks ago, which was eagle. Okay, the balancing. So you are going to need a block. And then some of you are going to check in with yourself. I'm just going to move my mat away from the wall because I don't really need a mat. But I am going to find a wall. And I'll show you what we're going to do. There's the desk. There's the pillar. Okay, there's different places. But I'll just show you what this looks like. And then you're going to determine if you need a wall. So you're going to stand with your feet coming about 3 to 4 feet apart. We're going to bend the knee. So just watch for a sec. Arms are relaxed. So warrior 2. Then we're going to take this left hand in, pull this left thigh bone up in towards the socket. Okay, and then lengthen and reach, going into triangle. Okay, just watch, just watch. And then this is where your balance is, so don't go into it yet. Okay, I'm just doing a fast forward. So if you're trying to follow me, I'm going quick, right? And then you're pressing down. This is when you might think, oh, that's where I'll need the wall. Okay, so we're doing a little flow. See how I'm pressing through. So some of you, if you're going to do it in the middle of the room, it takes a little bit more balance here. Okay, so check in. Do I need a wall? Okay, so there's your hip pelvis. If you're using this per se, you only need to have your hip against this pillar if you're going to use it. Okay, so there is a space. Okay, I don't really need a wall, but who needs a wall that doesn't have one? Okay, we all okay? Okay, let's try this. Okay, so you're going to put your block down in front of your right foot. It's about half a foot away. You're going to open up your feet, 3 feet if you're feeling like you need more support today, 4 to 4.5 feet if you're longer and want to have a little bit wider stance. Then you're going to turn your right foot towards the toes to face your block. Good. Now your back leg, you can have the toes facing forward. Sometimes I find this leg wants to externally rotate a little bit more. So what you can do is take your back foot and angle the toes forward and press back through your heel. So it brings it a little bit on the 45 and it will internally rotate this back leg. Now you're going to bend the front knee, let your arms float up. Okay, so your arms can face out, palms forward. If you have the wall, you're going to bring your arms back. They're not going to touch the wall, but you want to try to get your shoulder blades and your right hip on the wall. There you go, Donna. Okay, look over your right arm. Check in. Does it feel better to have my palms down? Or what does it feel like when you turn your palms up? My left shoulder is not feeling happy with me today, so I'm going to take my left shoulder out of the equation. You might also take one arm out of the equation by putting it to your hip. So it can be front, so you could look like this. Breathe here. Now feel all your toes. Yeah, and your heel, there you go. That made a really big difference. Hey, Leslie. Yeah, feel energy reach up the top of your head and your ears. Now you're going to push through this front foot. Okay, and you're going to straighten this front leg and you're going to pull the thigh bone up. So try not to go into a full flexion. There's just a tiny bit. It's a straight leg, but a little bit of a bend. And then your hips are going to go back as you reach forward. Good. And then your hand is going to very softly, you're not going to put any weight on your hand. It's just going to very softly touch the front leg. Then you're going to open the right side of your chest, your heart, the left side of your shoulders. Some of you can look forward. Some of you can look up. Some of you, if you have neck strain, are going to look down to your your right foot. If you want, that left arm's in the air. Yeah, I have it at my hip because it's feeling that way. So now you're going to look down at your right foot. This is when we're going to a balance. We're going to bend that front knee. Now you've got to push off your back foot. Feel your right foot, slide that left leg forward. I'm just going to move back a little bit because I've got the statue there that I don't want to hit. You're going to just touch this block. So a lot of us are going to want to drop all of our weight into this block, but I want you to be a little bit softer here. And I want you to think of this right foot, right leg pressing down, inner heel, outer heel, and let that left leg lift up. You feel like you're pulling energy up the leg, pressing, flexing out the heel. Yeah, there you go. Find your balance. Find your balance. It's a tricky one. I'm going to stand behind you because this one is a very tricky one, Andrew. Are you okay if I support you? Yeah. Okay. Lean into me. There you go. Find that left leg coming up. Now, when you're ready, your left foot will drop down beside your right. You're going to go in a forward fold. Standing forward fold. It's a tricky one. It is a tricky one. It is one of the most, it's up there in one of the most balancing. We haven't done that flow, those 3 poses in a while. Okay, when you're ready, think of the pelvis, the sit bones reaching down, the front of the pelvis reaching up, standing up. If you want to reach your arms up, do so. Good. You're going to do a few hip circles in between. Circle. Arms can be by the side, hands can be on the hips. Yeah, there you go, Megan. You got it. That was good. It's all core, right? I know when you're here, it's about finding a focus point and then thinking, okay, press down, press up, press down, press up, right? Eventually, you don't need the block. Okay, so when you have your whole core awareness, you can think of, oh, I don't really need that, right? Because I'm thinking, foot, pelvis, right? Out, in, out, up. I know. I could hear her. I just kind of looked in the center of the room. Yeah, I was thinking it. I think it's because I could hear your internal. And Belinda and I have quite a funny sense of humor to each other. So I laugh when she says that to me. And that is lots of years of practice, right? But that doesn't always happen. And it doesn't always happen on both sides. Okay, so when you're ready, we're going to try other side. So this is the side that's a little bit harder for me. Okay, so your block is in front of your left foot. Your feet are 3 or 4 to 4.5 feet apart. The left hip, if you're using, is on the wall. The left knee is bent. The right leg, you're going to choose, do I want the toes to face forward away from the wall or internally rotate the toes? Press the heel back. So we'll internally rotate your left thigh. Well, it's not that it's harder. One's more supportive. So if you have one leg that externally rotates out when you stand, then you would want to internally rotate that leg a little bit to keep the pelvis in neutral. I usually do a little bit of an internal rotation. Yeah. Okay, arms come up. You can be palms down, arms forward and up. And breathe. You choose which one. Soften the shoulders. Okay, feel that exhale lifting up the pubic bone. Wow. Feel your feet here. Mm-hmm. Okay, right hand's going to come down to the hip. You're going to press into that left foot, straightening that left leg, pulling the thigh bone up into the socket. Inhale, exhale down. So as you reach forward with that left arm, the left hand is very soft, so you're not putting any pressure on that left leg. You're feeling your feet rooting down, energy reaching out your head. You got it. And Candace is ahead of me. Good job. Yeah. Okay, then you're going to shift your weight onto your left foot. Bring your hands softly onto that block. Okay, reaching up. Sorry, Donna, my necklace keeps hitting your microphone. Pressing out through that right heel. Maybe the arms coming out. Yeah, you got it. Good, Tracy. Yeah. Pause when you're there because you've got to find your down. Remember, if you reach out the crown of your head, it will bring the whole spine in. You go into a standing forward fold when you're ready. Yeah, you can walk it out here by bending one knee, allowing one leg to be straight, and then bending the other one, allowing the other one to be straight. Good work today. That one's a really great triangle and half moon. Triangle, for instance, is a great pose to extend the side body and release the hip. Okay, so think pelvis dropping down, lifting up. Oh, checking in. Good. If you've got a wall, you can stay there because we're going to do a balancing pose. Okay, you might need one, you might not for this one. Okay, if you're against the wall, your hips are at the wall, your feet are walking away, maybe about a half a foot or so. We're going to put the block. You can think, do I want to be on the highest height? Do I want to be on the middle height? You choose. Okay, your first step, whether you're with the wall or not, is sitting down into a little bit of a chair. So if you're at the wall, you can just let your hips find the wall. We're going to do the legs first because the legs are a little bit tricky to get in, and then bring the arms. So as you press the foot into the floor, you're going to allow One leg to lift. Now, if you've got the wall, you're going to have to press your pelvis into the wall to lift that leg. And that's going to show you, am I leaning over at all? If you're not, you're wrapping it around. You want your hips to be square. You can put your toes on the block and you want to sit down. So that standing leg is bent. You are in a chair pose here. Good. Square your hips forward. So whatever that cross leg is, which is going to be your left, I want you to draw that left hip back a little bit. There it is. Yeah. See if you can lift your heart up. Looking ahead. Yeah, just bring the arms up. We'll just bring them out to the side. Now we're going to cross right arm over left. Give yourself a hug. Good. Some of you are going to lift your forearms up towards one another, going into Garudasana arms. I know, right? Stay there. I'm helping you. Good job, Belinda. When you're ready, you're going to unlace that left leg, bring it down, unlace the arms, sweep them up. Inhale, exhale. Exhale. Good. Okay. How we all doing? Okay. This is our last one. We're going down to the floor. Okay. So you're moving the block onto your left side. I like this feedback of the wall when I'm trying to lift the leg because I can feel, oh, pressing back, lifting the leg up. Because you'll notice you'll try to do something like this. So you might even just see, how can I get the wall? Okay, so right leg is the one, sorry, I was just playing on both sides. But right leg is the one that's coming up. You're bending the knee, you're crossing and you're sitting down into it. Okay, now you want to squeeze the thighs together. So I'm just bringing in a few more. Yeah, see how that right hip can draw back, arms come up. You're an eagle. Left arm crossing over on top of right. You can hug yourself. You can stay there going into full arms, Garudasana, forearms coming up. Good, there you are, good lesson. Nice. Carol, this is a good one for you. Your body's really going, it's celebrating inside. If you had pom-poms, they would be shaking all around. But yeah, the hips square, right? So I don't know about you, but my thigh is burning. So let's come up. Quad muscles are on fire here. Come out, shake it out. Good. Do a few circling. Yeah. Now we're going to bring a few props with us towards the front of the mat just to have them there. So you're going back to your mat, and I want you to have close by the chip foam block. And then we had, if you have two blocks, relatively the same size, those of you at home, if you don't have two blocks, you can use stacking up hardcover books. Okay, and you can put them around your mat, one on either side, just so they're there and we don't have to go back and get them. We'll use them in a little bit. We're going to do a little flow to release the hips. Yeah. Okay, so we're at the top of our mat. Take an exhale. Let's take a pursed lip breath. One more pursed lip breath. Feel the toes, the heels. Bend the knees. Good. So you should feel your legs a little bit more. Hands come to heart center. Inhale, exhale, arms come down. By your side, little bend of the knee. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Now you're using your pelvis as you allow the hips to shift back. Sit bones are going to reach back. Weight is going to go a little bit more on the heel. Then you're going to decide, do I want to come and roll down through the spine? You shift a little bit more weight so you feel toes and heel. Some of you can come down. If you have your blocks at the front of the mat and you weren't able to touch the floor before, you can take those two blocks and put your hands on them and push the floor away, and notice how that widens your collarbone. Yeah, good. Some of you have the tented fingers on the floor. Okay, so we are going to go down into the floor, and some of you are going to go into downward dog. So you're going to try to bring the hands down. If it's a little bit tricky to get the hands all the way to the floor, you can use these two blocks. Okay, to flatten your hands, press the floor away, step back, right foot, left foot. Okay, bend the knees and go into downward dog. If not, your hands are on the mat. I'm just going to demonstrate with the blocks. Okay, you can walk it out by bending one knee, releasing the one heel towards the floor, and then the other. Yes, Donna, those blocks work so much better for you, okay? In that, yeah. Good, just looking, yeah, when you're ready, you can come down, no rush. Knees coming down to the floor. Those of you that are not going on your knees, you can swivel the hips. Okay, so it looks more like that to come down. Widen the knees. Allow the hips to sit back as far as it feels okay on the knees. So sometimes full flexion is not working for us and we can be down partway in child's pose. Some of us feel okay to sink all the way back. Good. I've been playing a little bit with the blocks too and seeing if I have my forearm and my hands up on the block. I'm finding I'm getting a little bit more of an opening across my chest and the front of my shoulders. So if you want to explore it, you can. Just for a few breaths, those of you that want to walk your arms off to one side. You feel the lateral stretch too. So I'm going to stay and center just on the blocks. Other option for the blocks, I've been just playing with blocks a little bit lately, is you can have your elbows and your triceps on the block and your hands touching fingers and coming down, widening the collarbones, the shoulder blades. And this is moving up through the front of the chest and the back of the deltoid with the arms forward and the hands on the blocks. It goes more through the front of the deltoid. Yeah, there you go. Good. You can widen your knees if you want, if the knees want to be a little bit more apart. Breathe. Excellent, Mom. And we had done the bolster behind your legs that one time as well. That worked really well. You put it on top of your calves. Yeah, you had the block there, but let's see if you can get the bolster to be there. There you go. Yeah, and then you can sit back and then you can allow the torso to come forward. There you go. Beautiful. Just going to take a few more breaths here. You can even have your elbows on the floor and the palms of the hands together and lift the forearms and the hands off the floor. Bring the hands towards the back of the neck and the upper back. You don't have to be on the blocks. The blocks just bring a little bit of an extra relief. Good. Last couple breaths here. Okay, so we're going to do a little flow now. So we're going to come up onto the hands and knees. You're going to take your chip foam block. If you don't have a chip foam block, you can use a blanket. You're going to pop it under your right knee and shin. And then you're having your blocks underneath your hands. So you can feel they might be on the lower height. They might be on the upper height. You want to allow that left leg to come up. And some of you might have to heel toe it. But we're in a lunge. You might come a little bit more forward with that leg. And the left leg is forward, right? So we're all together. Yeah, and if you want to walk your foot a little bit more forward, Kevin, there you go. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so the left hip for a lot of us is going to be coming forward. So I want you to pull your left hip back. Good. And yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay. It's a little bit in my brain today, all this right and left. Okay. So you're going to feel lifting up through your pubic bone, lifting up through the torso, allowing the knee to bend. You can go off in front of this right angle, but keep pulling the right hip back. Okay, can you feel that stretch through the front of the right thigh? Good. You go as far as it feels comfortable, lifting energy out the top of the head. We're just doing a little psoas release. Okay, now we're going to move here through the pelvis. So you're going to press into that left foot to connect into the pelvis. Your pelvis is going to sink back. Now, some of you might need to move the blocks back a little bit, and you're going to try to lift the toes up, sink the hips back. And this is a hamstring stretch. So any of you that got hamstring tightness, we feel this one, right? Then the pelvis comes forward. Inhale, exhale, draw that left hip back. Good, lift the pubic bone. Nice. Inhale, exhale, pelvis shifts back. Heel might come up. You bring the blocks back to where you feel comfortable. Some of you can come forward, keep drawing that left hip back. Now, as you come forward, if you had the top of the foot on the floor, try this flow with the toes tucked under. See if that helps you a little bit more. Come forward. So be your right foot, the toes would tuck under. You got it. Okay, come back with the pelvis. Allow the leg to lengthen. Good, breathe here. How you doing, Andy? Is this okay? Yeah, okay. I know this one's a big one on the legs, right? Because you play hockey, you're gonna feel this one, right? Yeah. Okay, so just take it easy on yourself. Come forward one last time. Okay, and back. Good work. Okay, then you're gonna come out. Whew. Okay, we're just gonna sit down for a moment, shake out the legs. How do we do? Okay? Yeah, not too many people are talking to me today. That's okay. You feel it? Yeah. So let's just shake it out for a moment before we do other side. We're going to do some circles through the toes. Go both directions. Yeah. Excellent. You might do a little pointing, a little flexing, a little pointing. When you flex, you'll feel your quads engaged. The heels might even come off. One more time. Good. And just feel the legs come up for a moment. Whew. Feel your sit bones for a tiny bit. See if you can lift the pelvis up. And just sit nice and tall. Hold the back of your legs. Okay, we're just going to lean back a tiny bit. Keep lifting energy up. I want you to have a flat back here, even though it's slightly angled. And then lifting up through the heart. One more time, coming back. And up. Good. Swing the legs around. You're going to take all of your blocks. I'm going to face this way. So you're just going to come back to where you were. So that means the chip foam block or the blanket's under your left knee shin, yeah? Right leg is forward. Okay, and we explored. Does it feel better to have that back foot, the toes tucked under, or the top of the foot? And so then as you come forward, it's that right hip, right, that wants to jump forward. So we want to pull that hip back. It squares your pelvis. Good. I'm going to come a little bit higher. You want to lift the pubic bone, draw the lower belly in, lift through the heart. Allow the pelvis to come forward. Go slow here. Because we're releasing the hip flexor here and the quad, all that work that we did. Right? It's a nice one. Good. Feel your right hip come back a tiny bit. Ah, there it is. There's a square. So that's what square. So you can come forward, but keep on that plane. Yeah. And now lift the heart. There you go. Right? Okay. Now we're going to move back through the pelvis, coming back. The front leg is straightening as much as it wants to. The blocks can come back if you want. You're going to lift up through the toes, press through the heel. That gets into your hamstring. Yes. Breathe here. Whew. This one is really the one that goes, yes, I feel you, coming forward when you're ready. Squaring the hips, so keep bringing that right hip forward. Lifting the pubic bone, lifting your heart. Okay, you're going to go back and forth at your timing, your rhythm. Exhale, inhale. Notice that right hip, even when you start to lengthen, the leg is going to want to hike up. So you're going to drop it down. Coming forward at your timing. Yeah. Soften your eye. You feel your knees, so press into your back foot and just lift your knee up a little bit when you're in this pose. Yep. And then when you come back down, then you can drop it back because it's going to soften it. So any of us that are feeling our knee, as we come forward, we can press the toes of that left foot into the floor and just let your knee hover. This is a little bit more. It's going to be a little bit more strengthening. There you go. That's a beautiful one for you. Yeah, it feels like I feel really connected in your body. Hey, just notice when you're done, I'm just going to go into one more hamstring stretch. Hey, then you can block it out. Put your blocks out to the side. Yay, we're going to roll down onto our backs. Aha. Ah. This feels so good, doesn't it? Awesome. So just take a moment to be there. Hey, you might be in a straight leg. You might have the knees coming up towards the chest, giving them a hug. Good. I'm just walking through the studio for a moment. I'm just taking down a few lights. You don't need it. It's fine. It's fine over there. Ah. Good. 2 more breaths here. Hey, wanting to come in and just go into baby pose for a moment. So we're going to do a little flow here. So first off, we're just going to draw the left leg in. Hand can be on the shin. Hand can be behind the back of the thigh. Right foot is on the floor. Right knee is bent. And then does your head feel that the neck or the shoulders need a little bit of support? If so, I'm just showing you with the chip foam block. Yours has a black cover on it at the studio, but you can put that behind the head. We're going to circle now. So you're going to draw a circle. Feel that movement through the leg, through the ball and the socket. Okay, we're just going to release now. Go one direction. As you do this, keep the right hip heavy. Go the other direction. Notice that with the right hip being heavy, you can feel the right shoulder blade. Good, you're going to draw it in. We're just going to make sure that we have no discomfort through the SI joints. So sometimes when we go into lunge poses, for any of us that have scoliosis, or you feel that you have one hip lifting up, sometimes we get a little bit of tugging there. So we're just going to do a little release there. So your hands can be behind the back of the thighs, which is a little bit easier. If you feel okay with your knees and you are okay to go into a full flexion, your hands can be on the shins. I just want you to watch when the leg comes in. Just notice that you're not drawing the leg too far across the body towards center line, that you've just got a little kind of soft internal rotation and that left hip is heavy. So it's a little compression and leaning that is happening. So what you're going to do is you're going to gently draw the left leg towards you with your hands, but then you're going to resist that by pushing that left leg into your hands. So there's equal pressure in the tugging and the pushing. Try to relax your shoulders a little bit. Breathe as you hold this. You're going to feel the left side of your back drop into the floor. So this is a release for the ilium to the sacrum, pulling our SI joints. You'll feel your back press into the floor. Okay, then you're just going to soften and let that go. Whew. Okay, we're going to do that a couple times. So we're going to inhale, exhale, pressing the hands into the back of the thigh or the shin, and the shin or the back of the thigh into the hands. Equal leaning here. Just do a little nod of yes with your head and neck, just to try not to bring too much tension there. Lift the pubic bone. Draw the lower belly back. 2 more breaths. Good. And then you're going to release, set that left foot down. We're going to do the whole sequence on the other side, right leg coming up. You can hold it with one hand. You're going to circle through the hip, one direction. Good. Go the other direction when you feel ready. Keep your left hip heavy. Notice if it's lifting off the floor at all. Okay, pausing here. Okay, holding either the hands behind, both of the hands behind the back of the thigh or the shin. You're going to gently tug the leg towards you with the hands, but then lean the leg into the hands. Keep the shoulders and the neck as relaxed as you can. Lift the pubic bone. Feel your lower back press into the floor. Feel your left foot lean into the mat. Let go. One more time. When you're ready, pressing the hands into the leg, leg into the hands. Soften the shoulders, relax the neck. Feel the right side of your body leaning. Good. Soften, let that go. Bring the left leg up towards you. So you have both legs up towards the chest. Open the thighs. Just bring the shins and the feet up in the air. So your hands can be on the back of the thighs. And some of you might just wrap around and hold your legs here. Okay, some of you might go, oh, I can actually touch my ankles. Some of you can touch your feet. Okay, so you depend where you want to go. But I want you, as you tug down on the legs a little bit, I want you to reach your legs up in opposition. So exactly what we did, and feel the back of your pelvis press into the floor. Okay, then rock a little bit from left to right with keeping this oppositional movement. Okay, we're going to do a little bit more of a release here. Okay, once you rock a tiny bit, and then you pause, I want you to feel that opposition. Can you feel that leaning up, that rooting down? Relax your shoulders. I want you to bring your right heel down to your hips, your buttocks, and extend your left leg up, reaching it into the sky. Good. Then bend it back in, and then see if you can drop the thigh and the knee towards the body a tiny bit. Keep pressing the hand and the leg into each other in opposition. Good. Bring the right foot back up into the air. Happy baby. Okay, left heel comes down towards the buttocks. Right leg extends in the air. Good. Breathe here. Bend it back. Let the thigh and the knee relax towards the armpit a little bit more. Press the leg and the hand into each other. Go back into full baby pose. Rock a little bit. Okay, you're going to release, shake it on out. Shake the arms out, shake the legs out. Do a little open and closing through the hands. Soft fist, open palm. Soft fist, open palm. My feet want to get into the action. They're just kind of like doing their own thing. You might be pointing, flexing, okay, whatever you want, but just focusing on the hands. Shake them out in the air, arms in the hands. Shake out the legs. Beautiful. We are going to go into a little release of the fascia to end the class. So, and I know I didn't have a ball by my mat. Does anyone have a ball? Like a pink one or a spiky one? Or no, we don't at all. Yeah, that's me. You just have the what? Oh, you've got the double. That'll work. Okay, so I'm going to come around and I'm going to get you to find which ball do you want. Perfect. We're going to do some ball rolling. Hips. Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You have? Good. You got. Yes. You've got a pink one, but that's okay. You can use that one. You did. It's back there, but all good. Belinda, you got one. Okay. So I'm going to also be a little bit of support here, but we're going to release the hips because we did quite a bit on the hips today. So you're going to take the ball and you're going to decide, you might even try this in separation today, of just taking the ball and placing it behind the flesh of the buttocks. So you can be on the flesh a little bit below the top of the crest. You can also roll out onto the side and you can do one leg. I want to invite, if you want, to roll out onto the side a little bit too, to be here. So what I've done is I've put the ball on the side of my outer hip, and then I'm just dropping my legs over into a little twist. Okay, if you feel, oh, I really like drawing, if you have the ball under your left hip, drawing that left leg up, externally rotating it and putting that left ankle on the right thigh and going into a figure four, and even playing in the figure four for a moment of lifting that right foot off the floor. You can even have the block supporting the right foot if you don't want to be up in the air. You can also ball roll from here. You can do what we call a rock and roll, doing a little bit of compression and then release. Inhale, exhale, compression and release. And sometimes you find a spot where your body goes, oh, just pause there and hold and breathe and just let that tension melt away. Okay, so you want to make sure that you can fully breathe in any of the places that you do the ball rolling in. A few breaths out the mouth. Some of you I know have the awareness of sometimes the iliotibial band for you is being called to come in. And so just want to remind that you can have support under the head. You can bring this bolster up. Just going to come back a tiny bit. And the shin and foot can be supported on the bolster. And then you can take the hand and you can massage all through this outer hip and down this iliotibial band. And if you have a shoulder issue like I do on one side, then I'd suggest putting more height underneath your head just to create more space for your shoulder. So I've shifted my chip foam block into my 4-inch block because I'm using my bolster. And so you can also be here. This will help to massage the hands out as well as getting into the iliotibial band. So we do this band of fascia. We can do what is called a stripping motion through it, which is going from the knee up towards the hip. It's also called a combing. You can go across it from the hamstring to the quadricep muscle as well. It's called cross fibering. Good. Yes. Deep breaths here. Letting go. This is the release. Yeah, good. Just gonna be here for another minute or so on this side. Good. And just feel your body as you check in. Nice. Good. It's a good release there, Whitney. We've explored that as well, of if you widen your feet a little bit more, Whitney, on the mat. Yeah, and then when you go from side to side, you have, as you lead with the pelvis, you can feel, yeah, see how that, yeah, a little bit better, right? Releases through the top of the thigh and so adds a tiny bit more. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're gonna flip sides if you haven't already. Yeah, good. Some of you are going into figure four, wanting to bring in that release that we have done with the twist as well. So we're going to end with that one to end our practice. And if some of you know it and you're like, oh, but I want to go into it now before I switch sides. Remember, your feet are the width of your mat. Your arms are a little bit away from your body. Your palms are facing up. And we're leading the pelvis, of allowing the pelvis to lift up on one side. So if you're going to the left, your right hip will lift up. We're going to do it at the very end, but some of you might want to go into it now. Yeah, there you go. Good. Leslie, you did that one last week, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. As the legs go to the right, the left side of the pelvis lifts up. The left foot presses into the floor a little bit. Good. Okay, that's nice, Peggy, staying very connected there. Squeezing in. Nice. Good. Find your breath. This is where I give you that space to explore, what does my body need? And remember, the breath should be able to be present. It should be a companion with you. That's when you always know that the fascia is receiving a level of pressure that is inviting and nourishing for you. If you're going in and you're pressing a little bit too hard, or you're tensing against the receiving the myofascial release, then you know that you've gone a little bit too far. And so we always want to invite this release into our body. Okay, some of you have finished up both sides. So just notice if you haven't, then you're going to check in with yourself and go ahead and do this. But if you want to bring a little twist in, your feet can be the width of the mat, arms are up to the side, palms are up. Your thighs can roll in to start. And as we inhale, exhale, you can allow the right side of the hips to lift up as the left side anchors, the legs go over to the left. The right foot gently presses into the floor. Your head can also turn to the left. You want to find the lifting of the pubic bone very gently, the lower belly drawing back, the sit bones widening and reaching towards your heels. A little energy reaching out the top of the head. To keep a little awareness of energy here as you soften around your integrity. And when you're ready to come back, there's no rush, but you want to feel that the middle of the pelvis comes onto the floor first, then the right side of the hips. So the hips are waiting to allow the legs to gently come back into center. Thighs can roll in a little bit. And then as you inhale, exhale, the left side of your pelvis lifts up. And the legs float over to the right. You're lifting the pubic bone up, reaching the sit bones down towards the heels, widening them. Noticing if your head also wants to turn to the right, soften the shoulders. And then check in. Do I want to go one more time as you roll the pelvis back? The legs will just follow. And then you can see, do I want to go one more time from side to side, or do I feel ready for releasing into Shavasana? So you have a couple options here. You can just have your legs straight. You can take your bolster, you can flip it up on its side with the legs wrapped over the bolster, feet coming away. So you can be in this bent knee position, arms out to the side, palms up. Or you can flatten the bolster and have it supporting the back of the knees and above the knees on the thighs. So you're in a little bit more of a lengthened position. And some of you, if you have a wall, if you choose, you feel more than welcome to put your legs at the wall. And once you arrive in your resting place, you're going to take a deep breath in. You're going to let it out the mouth and a sigh. We're going to do that again. Deep breath in. Let it out with a sigh. One more time. Deep breath in. Let it out with a sigh. And then notice, does your body need to do that again? Do you need a pursed lip breath? Do your eyes feel okay to close? Feel the imprint of your body meet the floor. Notice all of the work of the practice as you let go through feet, ankles, shins. Let your knees feel supported by the bolster, the upper thigh, letting go. Feel heavy in your pelvis. Soft flow, the belly expanding on the inhale and releasing on the exhale. Letting the shoulder blades and the back of the rib cage drop into the floor. Feel the shoulders, the right shoulder become heavy. The right upper arm, the elbow, the forearm, the wrist, and the hand. Some of you might even open the palm of the right hand with your palm facing to the sky, back of the head on the floor, and just reaching the fingers and the thumb towards the floor. Feeling the palm opening. That'll bring some space up through the whole line of the arm into the shoulder. You can even reach the fingers a little bit away and the arm away just to create some space in the shoulder joint if you feel any pinching there. And then just soften and let go and notice how that right side feels. And then you're going to do the same thing to the left side. So you're going to reach out that left arm and the fingers, reach the back of the fingers and the thumb, the nails towards the floor, soften the upper arm, the elbow, the lower arm, the back of the wrist and the hand. Keep reaching through the fingers, keep opening space in the shoulder joint, and then just let it all go, relax. Feel the back of the head become heavy. Relax your jaw, you might open and close a couple times. Wiggle the jaw from side to side so the upper and lower palate are going in opposition. Our pelvis and our jaw are connected myofascially to one another. Just allowing this movement to come in might soften a little bit more in your hips. Relax your eyes. We've been talking a little bit about the eyes. I just want you to let them go away from the back of the eyelids. Just soften them. Release them away. Towards the back socket of your eye, you have this little fascial hammock. When your eyes release away, your nervous system comes to a different place of being. You feel heavy, you feel safe, you feel supported by the earth. The breath is breathing us right now as we just simply be here. And just as we're lying here, I'm going to just share a very short piece. This is one that I memorized. I've shared it with you before. The author is unknown. It's such a beautiful piece. And sometimes you find yourself in the middle of nowhere. And sometimes in the middle of nowhere, you find yourself. Sometimes you find yourself in the middle of nowhere. And sometimes in the middle of nowhere, you find yourself. And take another minute or so. Let out a pursed lip breath over the next few breaths, pursing the lips, blowing the breath out, just letting the exhalation extend. If that felt good, do it again. Notice if you become a little bit heavier and you release just a tiny bit more. If it feels that's something that you want to explore just for fun, as you're here, just feel a little smile start to emanate through your mouth, through your lips. Feel the corners of your mouth gently lifting. Feel the smile move inward to your heart. Feeling the heart expand and widen. It enlivens your energy inside the body. Sometimes brings us out of our thinking mind into our feeling, internal, esoteric feeling body. Both systems. And sometimes we rest in one more than the other. So just playing between the two for a moment. And as you feel this inner space of the heart, thank yourself for taking this time to be here today. As we gather together in community, we support one another and we help feel this awareness of co-regulating, co-supporting, so that we can self-regulate and self-support ourselves. When you're ready, you're going to just wiggle fingers, toes. Notice arms and legs moving. Take a stretch up through arms, down through legs. Take a deep, 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 deep stretch. Feel your whole body contract. Exhale, let it go. We're going to do that one more time. Stretch down through the body, up through the arms. Contract, contract. Let it go. Beautiful. Let your knees bend, feet come onto the bolster if they want. They can move off to the side. You can roll onto one side if you have one shoulder that is feeling sore or one hip. Just go on the other side. Okay, pause there if you want and fetal for a moment. Pressing the top arm, top hand into the floor, lifting up, coming to sit up. You can sit with your legs extended. They can be straight if you want, crossed. Okay, just check in that you have a little bit of room to move your arms. We have a full class today, so just stagger a little bit back or forward. Root down through those sit bones, keep them nice and wide. Reach up through the top of your head, palms forward. Exhale out your mouth. Root down through the pelvis as you inhale. Bring the arms up. Remember, when you get to the height of the shoulders, you can palm, hands down. Exhale, hands touch. Draw a line through your body. 2 more times, your rhythm, your timing. A lot of you know this. Gathering up energy, receiving it into the body. Sometimes we can give out energy, but this whole act of receiving is, we need to learn it. Pause with your hands at your heart. Feel the palms of the hands equally leaning. Relax your shoulders. Widen your collarbones, shoulder blades. Feel your body. Feel your breath. Arriving here simultaneously, right here, right now. Your gaze was closed. Allow it to open. Lift your head. Thank you for being here. All of you.